You say you want it. You say you want success. You say you want money, freedom, respect, strength, a better life. But let me ask you something simple. How badly do you actually want it? Because wanting something is easy. Everybody wants the result. Everybody wants to stand at the top. Everybody wants the strong body, the successful life, the respect, the freedom. But very few people want the price. When the alarm rings, do you get up? When nobody's watching, do you still do the work? When things become difficult, do you keep going or do you find another excuse? Because your words don't prove what you want, your actions do. If you really want a different life, then you have to become different. You have to stop waiting for the perfect day. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop telling yourself that you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is where dreams go to die. You don't need another excuse. You don't need another motivational video. You need a decision. Decide that you're done being the person who talks about change but never changes. Decide that you're willing to be uncomfortable. Decide that you're willing to work when you don't feel like working. Because the world doesn't care what you say you want. So prove it. Prove it when you're tired. Prove it when you're alone. Or prove it when nobody believes in you. Prove it when the road gets hard. And most importantly, prove it to yourself. Because once you become the person who keeps his promises to himself, your entire life starts to change. Wanting something is easy. Saying you want success is easy. Saying you want a better life, more money, more confidence, a stronger body, or more freedom is easy. You can say it every morning and believe it completely. But desire means very little if your actions don't match your words. Real desire shows up in the small choices you make every single day. It shows up when you are tired but still get the work done. It shows up when nobody is watching and there is no one there to praise you. It shows up when you have every excuse in the world to quit, but you choose to keep moving. A lot of people want the reward, but they don't want the routine that creates the reward. They want the results without the boring days, the failures, the sacrifice, and the uncomfortable moments. They want to become strong, but they don't want to struggle. They want success, but they don't want discipline. They want change, but they don't want to change their habits. Ask yourself honestly, how much do you really want it? Not what you tell your friends, not what you post online. Ask yourself what you're willing to do when things stop being exciting, because that's where the truth comes out. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired. The real test comes when motivation disappears. If you truly want something, your behavior will start to prove it. You will protect your time. You will become more disciplined. You will stop wasting energy on things that take you away from your goal. You won't need to announce your ambition every day because your actions will speak louder than your words. Excuses are easy because they make you feel better without forcing you to change. You can blame your situation, your past, your family, your lack of money, your lack of time, or the people around you. And sometimes those problems are real. Life can be unfair. Things can happen that you never expected. But there comes a point where you have to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I do about it? You will always have a reason to wait. You will always find something that isn't perfect. Maybe you don't have enough time. Maybe you don't feel ready. Maybe you're afraid you'll fail. Maybe someone told you that you can't do it. But if you keep waiting for perfect conditions, you can waste years of your life doing nothing. The hardest part is often starting. You don't need to know every step before you take the first one. You don't need complete confidence. You need the courage to move while you're still uncertain. Start with what you have. Use the time you have. Learn as you go. Every time you make an excuse, you give away a little bit of control over your life. Every time you take responsibility, you take that control back. So when you catch yourself saying, I can't, stop for a moment. Ask yourself if you truly can't, or if you're simply uncomfortable. There is a huge difference. Discomfort passes. Regret can stay for years. The easier choice is usually to stay where you are. The harder choice is to take responsibility, take action, and refuse to let another excuse decide what your future looks like. If you really want something, you have to understand that there is always a price attached to it. Success is not free. It might cost you comfort, free time, sleep, distractions, and sometimes even the approval of people around you. That doesn't mean you have to destroy yourself or work every second of the day. It means you have to be willing to give up some things that are holding you back. Most people want the result, but they don't want the process. They want the strong body without the training. They want the money without learning the skills. They want confidence without putting themselves in difficult situations. They want respect without becoming disciplined. They look at someone successful and see the lifestyle, but they don't see the years of boring work behind it. There will be mornings when you don't feel like getting up. There will be days when your progress feels invisible. You will work hard and still fail sometimes. You will make mistakes. You will question yourself. That's part of the price. The important thing is understanding what you're willing to sacrifice. Maybe you need to spend less time scrolling and more time learning. Maybe you need to stop chasing temporary pleasure and start building something that matters. Maybe you need to say no to people who constantly pull you away from your goals. Sacrifice doesn't mean giving up everything you enjoy. It means knowing what matters more. When your goal becomes important enough, some distractions stop looking attractive. You begin to understand that every hour has value, every decision has consequences, and every day is either moving you closer to the person you want to become or keeping you exactly where you are. You can say you want success all day long, but your daily actions will tell the real story. Words are easy because words cost nothing. You can tell everyone that you're going to change your life, start a business, get stronger, learn a new skill, or chase a bigger dream. But none of those words matter if your habits stay exactly the same. Look at how you spend your time. Look at what you do when nobody is watching. That's where your real priorities are. If you say your goal matters, but you spend hours scrolling, constantly delay important work, and give up whenever something becomes difficult, then your actions are telling a different story. This isn't about being perfect. Nobody's perfect. You're going to have bad days. You're going to lose focus sometimes. You're going to make mistakes. What matters is what you do after that. Do you stay down or do you get back to work? Action creates evidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. Every workout you complete, every hour you spend learning, every difficult task you finish, you are proving that you can trust yourself. You don't need to tell people how serious you are. Let them see it through your consistency. Let your routine speak. Let your effort speak. Let the progress speak. There's a powerful difference between saying, I want this, and living like, I will do whatever I reasonably can to earn this. One is a wish, the other is commitment. When your actions finally match your words, you stop wondering whether you really want the goal. You can see the answer in the way you live each day. There will be days when everything feels difficult. You will wake up tired, your motivation will be low, and the work in front of you will feel heavier than usual. Those are the moments when most people start looking for an escape. They tell themselves they need a break, they will start again tomorrow, or maybe the goal isn't worth the effort. But difficult days are not always a sign that you are on the wrong path. Sometimes they are simply part of the path. When things are easy, anyone can feel confident. Anyone can work hard when everything is going their way. The real test comes when nothing seems to be working. You put in the effort and don't see results. You try again and fail. You feel like nobody understands what you're trying to build. That's when you learn what you're really made of. Don't expect every day to feel powerful. Some days, discipline will have to carry you when motivation isn't there. You may not be able to give 100% every single day, and that's okay. What matters is refusing to completely disappear from the fight. A hard workout can teach you patience. A failed attempt can teach you what needs to change. A difficult project can teach you how to solve problems. Even rejection can force you to become stronger and more prepared. Instead of asking, why is this so hard? Ask yourself, what is this difficulty teaching me? Because pressure can reveal weaknesses you didn't know you had. It can also show you strengths you never had to use before. When you stop running from every uncomfortable moment, you begin to develop the ability to stay calm, keep working, and move forward even when the situation isn't perfect. Stop waiting to feel motivated before you take action. Motivation feels good, but it is unreliable. Some mornings you will wake up excited and ready to work. Other mornings you will feel tired, distracted, or completely uninterested. If your progress depends on your mood, you will constantly move forward and backward. There's nothing wrong with having days when you don't feel motivated. You're human. The mistake is believing that you need to feel inspired before you can begin. Sometimes the action comes first and the motivation follows. Start working for 10 minutes. Take the first step. Finish one small task. Once you begin moving, your mind often becomes more focused. Being relentless doesn't mean destroying yourself or working every hour of the day. It means refusing to let temporary feelings control your long-term decisions. You can rest when you genuinely need rest. You can slow down when necessary. But you don't turn one bad day into one bad month. Think about the people who make real progress. They aren't always more talented. They aren't always more motivated. They simply keep showing up. They continue learning after mistakes. They continue training after a bad session. They continue building after something doesn't work. You will have moments when quitting feels easier. You will question whether your effort is worth it. You may even wonder if you're good enough. Those thoughts can be loud, but they don't have to make your decisions for you. Build a habit of doing what needs to be done, even when your emotions are telling you to wait. Keep your promises small and realistic, then keep them consistently. One day of effort may not change your life, but repeated effort can completely change the direction of it. The most important person you need to prove yourself to is not the person watching you, judging you, or doubting you. It is you. Because when you learn to trust yourself, everything starts to feel different. You stop needing constant approval from other people. You stop explaining every decision. You stop looking for someone to tell you that you're capable. You begin building that belief through your own actions. Think about how many times you've told yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, and then didn't. Every broken promise may seem small, but over time it can change the way you see yourself. You start believing that your own words don't mean much. The good news is that you can change that pattern. Start making promises you can actually keep. If you say you're going to train. If you say you're going to study for an hour, sit down and do it. If you decide to spend less time on distractions, put the phone away. You don't need to make huge promises. You need to become consistent with the small ones. Every time you do what you said you would do, you build evidence that you can trust yourself. That confidence is different from simply telling yourself positive words in the mirror. It comes from experience. You have seen yourself struggle, continue, make mistakes, adjust, and keep moving. And there will still be days when you fail. You might miss a workout, waste an afternoon, or lose your focus. Don't turn one mistake into an identity. Reset and continue. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is becoming someone whose actions increasingly match their promises, especially when nobody else is there to see it.